So there, guys, welcome back to Towns with Charon and Velerious.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Towns.
On pause. Towns, oh my god, it feels like it's been ages since we filmed Towns. It hasn't. It's only been like a week.
Oh yeah,
but
this has
I've done that much other shit this week. Because obviously I've been off work, so all that bonus content that people may or may not have noticed went out on the channel. Oh my god, what a week.
I like the fact as well, if you look at the house and like the roof and everything, it looks so ugly compared to what the developers did with this game.
Yeah.
The house looks so much better. The windows on the left-hand side really fuck my mind over as well, because it looks like them back windows are further forward.
Yeah.
So it looks like there's a bigger
space. And they're really
in
not,
that,
it's just a trick of perspective.
And it's like, why you do this? I think you should count them just to make sure that... Go on.
See, if we could have been asked, something we could have done would have been to like...
Planned it out. Actually had a plan.
Yeah.
Drawn up a blueprint.
To like bring out some like balconies and stuff.
Oh, that's just
and then like have the roof overhanging by one and shit like that.
Have the townies drop down
But,
with the legs and things like that, you know, really funny things.
How well that works, I don't know. Because we have just gone into this habit of just building these flat fucking monstrosities.
Yes, the flat monstrosities. Well, to be funny,
It's an Irish saying.
It's a bit more kind of like, you know, it's not an Irish saying. Every Irish person's going to be, that's not an Irish saying, wait a minute. It is kind of like iconic of what we build in Minecraft. We do have that kind of habit of building a square and pointing at
I think everyone does though, don't they? It's like, not everyone is super artistic.
It's the first way of building a house in Minecraft. It's the most efficient way of building a house in Minecraft. And to be honest, it makes more sense. I mean, yeah, a lot of people go with... Like,
we build houses how I draw houses.
Yeah.
Which, like a kid, I still draw just a nice square. And then a flat roof. And then four windows and a door. Smoke coming out the chimney. Little path. Little garden.
And every time I play with Jade, she's like, God, you can't build houses for shit. It's like, why you do this? So when it comes to fucking furnishing,
whenever I try building a non-standard house, like my house on stilts, you guys just take the piss out of it. So, can't win.
To be fair, I mean, you can't really say anything to me, because I am just as shit as you at building houses.
Why is she wielding a hammer?
Jade's the person who fucking goes about with it. Because she builds like all these fancy little bay windows and like balconies and little rooftops with chimneys and smoke coming out of it. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake. It makes you feel so bad. It's so upsetting.
It is pretty upsetting.
But in a parallel universe, we're as big as PewDiePie and have lots of money. So we don't have to care about that anymore.
Hawk. Why did she even get a stone hammer of the hawk? I don't know, fucking hell.
Because you gave her the stone hammer of the hawk.
The thing is these people find down here. Oh, God.
And thou shall have a stone hammer of the hawk.
Oh, shit, we're waiting on that grave as well.
I was going to say, have you unlocked that?
Yeah, it's unlocked.
Go down, check.
I'd imagine someone's slowly making their way to the corpse.
Oh, God, I thought that was it. It was like, oh no, it's already begun. The ghosts.
There's a -8 somewhere, wasn't it? Where did they die? Can you remember?
Up and left. Up and left.
In fact, can't I just... Boom.
Oh, yeah. It's not there. It's been stolen.
Okay, so someone must have taken it then.
There's an axe down there.
Which is fine. It's only a bone axe.
Bone axe.
Bone axe.
Boner.
That barbarian's sleeping in the dungeon again.
Sleep on the side.
It's actually got a zombite mace. It's probably not wearing it. I'm guessing it's on the floor. No, he's fucking using it.
Oh
Holy
my God.
shit.
Oh, the knight's finally discovered that other pathway. You're missing out. Oh, there's nothing there.
Fuck all there, mate. He only had a peek. This actually goes on.
Oh, Rogue's found something. He's shocking it with his shocker.
With his shocker.
Don't taste me, bro.
Literally
just got a taser.
So, Velerious, I say so a lot. I found that out when I was editing the Steam Burbs game back. It's like I say so every 5 seconds. It's really annoying.
I'm sure I say something like that.
I think everyone has these little things that they...
I don't know what mine is, but I bet you any money it's really annoying.
It's not until you like record yourself back and listen to yourself that you realise all the little idiosyncrasies in your speech.
It's got to be something like, I bet you any money. That's something I say quite a lot.
Yeah.
Or what's the other saying that I say all the time? There's a few that I say.
There is. Yeah. It's one of those things that you don't notice it until you sit there and listen to it over and over again.
I think it's I bet you more than anything else. I think I just sound like a hardcore gambler. Just consistently going, I bet you this, I bet you that, I bet you all this. And just sat here with no pants on. I bet all my things away. I was wrong a lot of the time. I bet you time to get upgraded. Oh, here's my pants. Oh, God. Why?
So this week, you discovered something, Velerious. In fact, you discovered two things. I want to talk about two of the things that you discovered that you informed me of this week. Okay.
I remember one.
we'll start with the one that you remember, which was the bears.
Yeah.
So there is. Do you want to do it?
Well, you need to explain the Nelson Mandela thing, don't you?
Well, this is the thing. It was like the reason it came up is because Velerious was like, "Do you remember a cartoon with some?" Well, a comic. Well, yeah, I think it was a bit of both.
Yeah, it was books and went onto a cartoon later on, and a game came out on it.
Yeah, and he was like, "Do you remember a thing about bears? Not Yorkie bear, but like there was like a family of bears." And I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "The like Bernstein bears." And he was like, "Oh my god, it's not just me then." So then he started looking it up, and it turns out these guys are not called the Bernstein bears. Okay. They're called is it Berenstain?
Berenstain.
The Berenstain Bears.
And
everyone misremembers it.
There's population, basically the population is divided into 3 equal sections where people are remembering it as the Berenstain, but some are remembering it as the Berenstein, and some remember it as Berenstain. Berenstain, whatever you said.
But no one can agree on the actual spelling of it. It doesn't help that there was certain like evidence in TV mags and stuff that
like misspellings that have made it into Stain or
but the actual logo, because it was named after the surname of the people who invented them or whatever, it is literally the Berenstain Bears. Berenstain.
Their actual name is Berenstain, which is so fucking bizarre.
And then obviously, like, this is an example of what's called the Mandela Effect. So then you were researching the Mandela Effect, weren't you, to get the full story on how that works. And if you're not familiar with the Mandela Effect, it's sort of a similar thing. It's where things are misremembered, and it tries to explain why, using the theory that history has changed. Basically, if somebody were to discover time travel and go back in time and accidentally change one little thing, how would we know? And it would be something like this. Something where everyone remembers something being a specific way, and in reality it's different.
Well, they were saying, like, it's when it's branched off from before, only certain people have gone on the incorrect branch.
Yeah, so the timeline has altered and re-merged.
Up until a certain point, it was called the Berenstain Bears.
Yeah.
And then suddenly it changed to the Berenstain. Now, obviously, to comprehend that, the universe made everything before that the same. But some people, instead of going over to the Berenstain universe,
still
remember it differently.
Pre-change.
And they remember the game being called it, the books being called it. They remember everything being called it. And it's like it was drawn to my attention through Angry Video Game Nerd.
Oh, right.
Who also remembered it as the Berenstain Bears. And
but it's one of those things, it's like until... I mean, we're never going to know.
Well, no, we aren't.
We're never going to know if it's just a happy coincidence, if it's just a strange phenomena, or whether it is actual evidence that time travel has taken place.
Yeah.
You know.
That was the thing with the Mandela Effect. It wasn't everyone that remembered it. It was basically one person who spoke out and said they remembered...
Mandela dying in jail. That was what triggered it.
And there was like funeral cars going past and this big ceremony for him dying and everything like that. And it's like, none of that actually happened. It's completely fabricated by them, although... You don't know if it's fabricated or not, because they could have been in a timeline where that might have actually happened. And for some strange reason, they've now come into our timeline.
But then apparently it wasn't just one person, was it? Other people started to come forward to say they too remember that happening.
A lot of people came forward and were like, yeah, well, I seem to remember the exact same way. And they would add their own like things to it, saying like, yeah, well, I remember at the time I was this place and this happened. Is that the kind of thing where you go back to where someone thinks they lived before?
Or like a previous life thing.
Yeah. And is that actually a previous life? Or perhaps,
that's just a lot of bollocks, mate.
Well, no, there's some people who really go into
Derek Acora level bullshit.
There's some people that get really into that.
Yeah, we call these people nut jobs. And maybe the Mandela thing is just nut jobs, you know what I mean? Maybe the whole...
I think of it more like a kind of weird deja vu. It's like going to a place that you've never been before and suddenly you remember it.
Yeah,
and
but the thing with the Bernstein Bears is I could have sworn it was Bernstein, okay? But when you showed me the evidence that it wasn't, I was like, oh, well, I must have misremembered that then.
Yeah.
You know?
But the issue is, what if you haven't misremembered it and now
But what if I haven't? Yeah.
That wasn't just been brainwashed to not believe
you know, my first thought wasn't, oh shit, I'm in the wrong timeline.
Imagine that just suddenly you just grab me. We need to go back in time.
Well, this is the thing. But what if I am? That would be so fucking weird.
It could be. It could be that I was meant to be in this timeline and you weren't. Perhaps there was another brother. One that was nicer.
Somewhere. Wow. Somewhere out there, there's another Charon doing a hell of a lot better than I am.
There's another Charon who's really nice, covered in hair.
I am nice.
I'm sure you are, baby.
I'm fucking lovely, mate.
Fucking adorable.
I am adorable.
Adorable.
I am adorable.
But there's probably a Charon out there that likes Mad Pack. You never know.
Wow.
And that's just a theory.
No, not this again. I barely got the reference last time, but let's not do it again.
You'll never get the reference. You'll never watch it.
So yeah, the whole Bernstein Bears. Oh god, it's so weird.
It's because there's 3 different names. It's really random.
It is weird.
But to be honest, it's one of those things where you don't know if it's true or not. The people who are genuinely, like, even with the Nelson Mandela thing, when they said that's what they remembered, they literally could recall every kind of memory.
But that's the thing. You didn't lead me into it. You asked me about the Bears, and I was the one who volunteered the name Bernstein, which is how I remember seeing it.
Yeah.
However, I was a child, and although I was very good at spelling as a child, I probably wasn't perfect at it. So I could feasibly believe that I've just misremembered the fucking Bernstein thing. But if this is something that interests you, not you, Velerious, the viewers, go check it out and have a look. And the thing is, I doubt our viewers are old enough to even remember them in the first place. That's the thing.
There's other things on there. There's other things that have happened. I mean, one of the ones that surprisingly has not happened is no one has remembered the Y2K being that we all died. So, imagine if that had happened. Just some guy going, how am I still here? I remember dying in Y2K. Oh my god!
It never happened because it was never that big a problem in the first place. And it's like, it's going to happen again anyway at the end of Unix time, which is not that far away, really.
There will be one place somewhere, another parallel dimension, where it was that big a thing. Yeah. And we just didn't think anything of it.
The thing is, I bet people are going to freak out over the fucking Unix time thing as well.
Yeah, probably.
As though we completely forgot about the Y2K. But again, it's like people watching this might not even have been around in the Y2K thing, might not even get what the hype was about.
That's true.
It's like I was thinking yesterday, right? Just out of nowhere, I was like, oh shit, there are teenagers alive today who haven't seen Two Girls, One Cup.
Yeah.
And it's like, because when that went out, everyone fucking knew what that shit was within like a few weeks of it appearing on the internet. It's like, that makes you feel old, man.
There's people out there who don't know the annoyingness of that Meatspin website, where people will send you basically a man's phallus swinging round repeatedly while it says about spinning round, and you couldn't close the box because the mouse kept like moving it.
And you give it a few years and nobody will know what Rickrolling is anymore.
Oh god, did you remember how fucking annoying that site was?
The Meatspin. Well,
there was a small box that popped up, and you move your mouse over it, and the box moves.
It switches left and right.
And it moved all the way around, so you had to just...
Nice little bit of code. I like it.
It was a nice bit of code, but it was annoying, because it was a man's phallus swinging around in front of your face, all going, you spin me right, bro.
There was so many of these troll fucking websites. Like, do you remember the one with the maze, where you've got to, like, get your mouse cursor through the maze, and it's like got 2 ease levels, and then one that's, like, absolutely dog shit hard. And then while you're focusing on it, there's like a jump scare with a noise.
Yeah. You know, there's teenagers alive and kids today that don't know anything about Courtesy Cowardly Dog.
Well, I mean, that wasn't massively popular in its day, let alone now, but...
No, but it was a cool classic. It was fantastic. It was spooky for the sake of being spooky.
I love how this episode is just dungeon watching, because I can't be asked doing anything for fucking thing. So anyway, after the Bernstein Bears, Velerious, there was this other mysterious phenomena that you showed me. Do you remember what it was?
No.
Women shitting in supermarkets.
Oh, yeah. Fucking hell. Forgot
the fuck is this?
That's not information I usually retain, to be fair.
This is... I couldn't believe this was a thing, but go check it out. Just, Google it at your own risk. But there is, for some reason...
It's actually quite graphic. So if you do Google it, expect to see
over the years, it's not even like it's a recent, isolated phenomena. Over the years, across the world, women have been shitting in supermarkets. I mean, I'm a guy, so maybe I'm just not in on the secret, and maybe like all the women already know about this shit.
Well, no, the weird thing is they've tried to say like maybe they were pregnant.
Yeah, but they're clearly not.
Then, they're not pregnant. It's quite clear they're not pregnant. They are just shitting for the sake of shitting.
They just do it. They just like in the middle of a supermarket, they're just dropping trow, and one of them did it in a fridge.
Yeah,
it's like who shits in a fridge?
One of them just like as she's walking, just shits, grabs the toilet paper off the thing and wipes her ass with it. Like,
how can you shit in a fridge for a start? It's so fucking cold. I like to shit in the warmth, man.
Well, you'd have to go shit in one of them hot things, which has all the chickens in.
Nothing worse than like middle of winter going for a shit and it's like freezing cold and you got to force that shit out.
Just absolutely, it's a bizarre.
It's
kind of
bizarre.
Because
as I said, I could understand it if it was like, you know, if it was just pregnant women, then fair enough. You know, pregnant women.
People were trying to say
shit goes on.
Well, people were trying to say it's feminist stuff, and it's like. But it was out before this radical feminism happened. It was literally just someone walked into a supermarket, like pulled down their pants and chat.
It's not targeted at a particular supermarket. Yeah. It's not a particular country. It's not a particular demographic other than women. Why women?
I don't know. Maybe because men just don't do that. We might wank in
guys piss everywhere, don't they?
Yeah.
I think
wanking and pissing we do quite a lot everywhere, but
do guys shit in weird places? I don't know.
I answered a question the other day as well on this thing to find out if I'm a chronic masturbator. And one of the questions was, do you
masturbate all the time?
Do you feel the urge to masturbate in public?
Wow.
And I was like, no. And it was like, if you answered yes to the previous question,
you're definitely a chronic masturbator.
Do you feel the urge for someone to watch you while masturbating in public? And I was like, what the fuck? Just pull it out in the fucking middle of like town. Oh, look at me. I'm masturbating.
How to tell if you're a chronic masturbator? Are you masturbating right now? Yes, you are a chronic masturbator.
The very last question was, are you masturbating while doing this quiz? And I was like, lol.
It sounds like one of those old fucking GeoCities quizzes you used to get like...
It was pretty bad.
God, there's people who don't know what GeoCities is.
Yeah, there is.
Like, in Internet 1.0, before this whole 2.0 bullshit happened and all websites went white and square.
There's people who won't know what Facebook is, or MSN Messenger.
Well, Facebook's still around, but...
It's not that big anymore, though.
Facebook? Are you sure you want about Facebook, not like something else?
Not Facebook, yeah, MySpace.
MySpace, Facebook. Facebook's fucking huge, man. Everyone knows what Facebook is.
It's a pile of shit. No one uses it.
Oh, God. Yeah,
everyone uses Facebook for everything that's not on Facebook, like playing a farm game.
The thing is, when it came out, MySpace was way better than Facebook.
And MSN Messenger.
MSN Messenger was fucking
AOL
amazing.
Messenger. They won't know that either.
AOL Messenger was wank. So was Yahoo Messenger.
It might have been, but they won't know it.
I think they're still out there, you know. Yahoo and AOL Messengers. And ICQ. ICQ was cool because it made a typewriter sound when you typed to people. It was like... Ting, 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 which is one of those things that we've talked about before with the old phone cameras that make the noise of a camera, even though they don't have to. And that was the thing with the typewriter. It's like... You know, people born in this era have never even seen a typewriter, and that noise makes no sense as to why it would be there.
Well, it's like the weird kind of computer logic of whenever you make something, you have to take into account like the UI that you're going to be using. And one of the main things is like always use a house for home. Because it's become such a staple now of every single website or anything that house is the thing that takes you back to the homepage. But how bizarre is that? Because eventually they could change that.
I'm sure we've touched on that before as well, with the whole fact that like the universal save icon is a floppy disk, even though floppy disks have been obsolete for years.
And nowadays they're trying to change certain things about it.
But what else would you use to indicate saving? Do you know what I mean? It's so ingrained.
Well, for some strange reason, I seem to remember the download icon always being a globe with an arrow pointing down.
Yeah, an arrow pointing down is the usual
and now
sort
it
of
seems
symbol,
to have just turned to an arrow pointing down.
Because it's like you still have like the play buttons and stuff. Like if you open like VLC Play or whatever people use, I use VLC because it's the best, obviously.
Yeah.
You still have this sort of, a triangle for play, 2 triangles for fast forward, square for stop, circle for record, which obviously comes from the days of the cassette player, where it indicated the direction the tape would go and all that sort of shit.
It's been around for so long. Yeah. It's like a staple.
And it's always going to be, that's always going to be the thing.
Well, you never know. Eventually when we
Just like cameras are always going to make that click noise with like a shutter, even long after there's no cameras like that left on the planet.
They're changing it all now, though, because even my phone, when you press it, it can turn to a bloop.
A bloop.
So, what do you think all the kids are going to want? The old shutter sound or the cool new Facebook bloop. Oh my god!
The bloop.
Eventually, it'll all become bloops, and you'll be out, and someone will go, "Can I take a picture with you?" Boop.
Well, this is the thing. It's like, because like phones, the very first phone sort of rang a bell to indicate that they were ringing, sort of thing. So then, when you moved away from the bell design to just a digital speaker, it made the sound of a bell ringing. And then when mobile phones came out, they made the sound of a bell ringing. And it wasn't until like just after the first wave that they started putting other options in there. So rather than just the sort of standard phone noise, you've got all these different things, and that's what Nokia did exactly. And then it turned into polyphonic ringtones, and now it's like your phone just plays music to indicate that it's ringing.
And now it's like half the people that own a phone and things like that. It's like if they don't own a house phone, because there's a lot of people that don't own house phones, they own mobiles.
Yeah.
And they just own mobiles because they can block things easier on a mobile, get voicemail easier on a mobile. It just becomes better than a house phone.
Yeah.
So, there's people who have that who have never heard an old-timey phone ring.
Maybe.
There's a person somewhere who's like, "Well, an old-time phone," takes out his phone. Why is this not an option? And then there's all the hipsters that are still using all this stuff. So when they're like iPhone
when I
7
first
rings,
got a phone,
it goes,
like
ring,
back
ring.
in the day, I just had it make the noise of a phone.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I want to be aware that it's my phone that is ringing, and that's how I will know, because it will sound like my phone ringing.
Mum and Dad still do that with the fact that like they both have a different song.
Yeah.
And yet the minute a song starts playing in the house, they're like, whose phone is that? Is that yours? It's mine? Whose phone is it? And it's like, fuck's sake, just remember your own song.
Exactly.
And then just apply it to everything in your life.
There was that thing where when you got the Nokia ringtone coming down, there was a thing where like you'd hear that ringtone going off and suddenly like 50 people would dive for their fucking phone.
Yeah.
Because none of them know who it is, because it's so generic.
But now we've got so many different songs and ringtones and everything. You can have anything you want on there.
Well, exactly. I mean, mine now is the Saints Row 3 ringtone.
Yeah.
So it sounds like I'm getting a mission.
My text message now is still the Metal Gear Solid alert sounds.
Nice.
So
I do like that
whenever
one.
I'm in a shop, I can just quickly pull out a cardboard box and hide in it. Immediately my phone goes off.
It's a good idea.
And then security comes over, kicks my ass. Please, sir, get out. Jesus Christ.
Security. So yeah, women have been shitting in supermarkets.
Yeah.
That's what we've...
that's where we came from.
Yeah.
We've not come full circle exactly.
If you are a woman...
And you're called Berenstain. Yes, we've come full circle.
If you are a woman, please don't shit in supermarkets. And if you are a woman who's already shot in a supermarket, why?
Why did you do it in a supermarket? Perhaps maybe you needed to poo really badly and
maybe, if you're a guy and you've shot in a supermarket, then share your story in the comments.
And we don't mean in the toilets.
No, like literally
supermarkets that have toilets.
On the floor, in a fridge.
You pull down your pants in front of everyone
on a shelf.
Just shat on the ground. And then as the guy comes over, you like look at him with this death glare and go, "You better clean my shelf, son." Yeah. He's just there going... Pretty
much how it works.
He's just there going, "Big clean up on aisle 3." Sat there with loads of toilet paper.
It's just evil, isn't it? Yeah. I cannot wrap my head around it.
Imagine being that guy who a girl goes into your shop and she goes behind a shelf and you sat there for a while and suddenly she comes out and goes, "Oh, nothing for me," walks out and there's just this massive shit on the floor.
You walk around,
and you have to clean that up.
Because having worked in a supermarket before, one of the most annoying things was when people would knock shit off shelves and break it and not tell you.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can understand, they're probably like, "Oh shit, I better get out of here," sort of thing.
Yeah.
But then you go around and there's just like fucking dried jam on the floor or something. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake, that's going to take so much cleaning up.
Also, you'll probably try and charge them because it's their
fault. But you generally don't. Very few places will charge it. If you break something in a shop, just go tell someone that you've broken it.
Smash.
Excuse
me, sir, I broke that. Well, you'll have to pay 3 times the price.
Grow a pair of balls.
And a wallet.
Or a vagina.
And a purse.
And go tell them.
And get your
Don't
ready.
shit in the fucking supermarkets. Right, I'm pausing Derpsville Velerious. We're going to leave it there. If you'd like to say bye-bye to everybody.
Bye-bye.
We'll see you next time, guys. Bye-bye.